AI continues to be used in political campaign ads, and some are raising concerns. Today, Senator John Cornyn released a new ad depicting Attorney General Ken Paxton in a car with his alleged mistresses. Fox 4's Stephen Dial spoke to a law professor about the rise of these types of ads and what it may mean in the future. He's live in studio with more. Stephen.
Steve, it seems like new week, new AI ad. Today is the Ken Paxton ad with alleged mistresses. Last week, Republicans posted an ad depicting James Tallarico reading tweets. With us seeing more of these ads, I went to a law professor at the University of Houston to talk about if the federal government will put guardrails on the use of AI in campaigns. Tuesday, Senator John Cornyn's campaign rolled out this Ken Paxton attack ad, prominently using AI to depict Paxton with his alleged mistresses. Senator Cornyn is in a May runoff with Attorney General Ken Paxton. This isn't the first time AI was used in a political ad this campaign season. Leading up to the primary, an AI Paxton ad showed Cornyn dancing with Dallas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
Publicly, they're opponents. Privately, they're perfectly in step.
And just last week, the National Republican Senate Committee posted this AI ad, making it seem like James Tallarico was reading his own tweets.
Oh, this one is touching. Over and over, Christians use scripture to justify bullying trans kids.
I spoke to University of Houston law professor Seth Chandler, who has been talking to his students about the use of AI and freedom of speech.
I think that those tweets are legal. They are not falsifying what he said. They're using his likeness, but I don't believe that's unlawful.
In 2019, Texas passed a bill to ban deepfake videos with the intent of influencing the outcome of an election. Because the race for Senate is a federal race, there are no restrictions on this type of AI ad. Do you think this is even something that federal officials will start thinking about in terms of enforcement or guardrails? Or do you think we're still kind of so new into it that this may take some time?
I think it will take time for federal or state regulators to even attempt to come up with sensible regulations. And this may be an area in which the cure is worse than the disease. That is, that when you start saying that, well, because they used AI, we can have additional censoring of the message, that starts to get very, very dangerous.
Now, while we are talking elections, we have been keeping an eye on the Republican runoff for U.S. Senate. Today at 5 o'clock was the deadline for a candidate to withdraw their name from the ballot. At my last check, Steve, neither candidate, nor Ken Paxton or John Cornyn, have removed their names from the ballot. President Trump said earlier this month that he wants to endorse a candidate and wants one of the other candidates to drop out. We still have not heard about that either.
So we don't know if he's done that, notified one of them, and they're ignoring it, or we don't know anything right now.
We don't know anything yet.
Right.
Well, I'm sure social media will tell us.
Okay.